Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be with you just shortly. Aye, aye, aye. Well, they say things happen every day. I mean, each and every day. And the battle continues throughout the day. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, continuously, continuously. Right now we're back. Yay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Anyway, we know that, wow, people and things and situations that happen every day. And as quiet as it's kept, we are in a situation, left, right, and in between. Every time you turn around, there's something going on, something happening every day. But why are we going through so much trouble? Why are we going through so much turmoil? Why things are not working the way we want it to work? They should be working. And we look around and we say, what am I doing? We look in the mirror. And what does the mirror say? Look at you. Look at you, what you're doing. What is your attitude? What is your behavior? What are your thoughts? And then what are your desires? And so we say, okay, I want this, I want that, I want this. It's almost like a bucket list of like a list we do for Christmas, you know what I mean? I want Santa Claus to bring me this, and I want that, and I want that, and I need this. Yeah, you know, we want so much. But then again, wow, we look around and say, I have so much, but then I don't have anything. So where's it leading to? Where we going with this thing? So we say, what are you doing for your life? And we look around, we've grown, we are mature people, and we look back and say, where's my legacy? What have I accomplished in these days? What have I accomplished in these years? And we say, well, I haven't accomplished as much as I should or would want to, and I still have a little time ahead, but you don't know how much time you have in here. You don't know what the next day is going to bring. We're always looking at the information, the lessons learned from yesterday, trying to apply them for today, and yet still to prepare for tomorrow. But tomorrow is not how you said promise to anyone. So we think about these things that I don't have a legacy. And you say, well, why? Why not? And then we look around and say, well, maybe it's because I've been hindered for so many times, so much, and so much is on me. But then what's on you? What's stopping you from having a legacy? What's stopping you from looking at the situation from your parents, your grandparents, and great grandparents, and everything, all the way back to the beginning? And then you looked at where am I here, where now, and you say, gee, wow, what's going on? Because the mindset. And that's what it is. The mind, toxic mindset. But you say, well, you have an ego problem? Because see, with the ego, you're thinking that, well, I'm this, I'm all that. I put myself in a different position from others and everything. I'm a lover of myself. Yeah, they say you're supposed to have self love and all this good stuff. You're supposed to have confidence. You're supposed to have uh, a thought pattern. Your personality is different and everything because we have different fingerprints and everything. So we are different. We're unique. We're special. Yes, we're very special. And because we are special, sometimes we hold ourselves to a standard that is not right. And that standard sometimes is what's going to hold us down from having a legacy. And that's what's happening today. Today, We have let that toxic standard, that toxic mentality, keep us from having the right standard, the right place, the right situation. And then we say, well, we look at life and life around us. We look at our environment. We look at society. We look at different things, different people even. And we look at say, well, what's happening? Why we not where we're supposed to be? Why, like I said, this year has gone so fast. We're almost in the ninth, 12th year already, almost. You know what I mean? It's like, where did the year go? But then look back years. What are we transpiring? What have we accomplished in all these years? Then you look back and say, oh, there was a few good spots. And it's like we tell people, like, well, the sun doesn't shine every day, but then there's time when there's a little rain, time when there's a little drizzle and make it feel good and everything nice and then. And then there's a cold rain with the ice and sleet and snow, and then there's a storm. But today it seems to be more storms than rain, more storms than the nice quiet mist in the air. There seem to be more storms than just a sunny day seem to be. Even on a sunny day, sometimes there's a storm that come about. There's a challenge. There's a situation. And then you look at it and say, instead of being concerned, it seems like there is no concern. There's no um, value. We don't think about these things too much like we're supposed to or should do. We don't take action. And then we're not really coming to that place where it's, okay, being aware of a lot of things, the storm having. We don't listen to the weather report. We don't listen to the weather report. We don't listen to anything. Just another day. And then all of a sudden, we get caught out into that day, into that situation. And guess what? There's a storm and around the corner. There's a storm over our head. There's a challenge that we have to go through and everything. But then, how are we looking at these things? How are we preparing for the onset, preparing for the disaster, preparing for the trouble, preparing for what's going on? It seems like we're not prepared. Well, do you really care? But then it feels like we don't care. It feels like we don't care. But our behavior is telling a story. Our behavior is saying like, oh well, so what? But we're not really concentrating on the problems ahead of what we're doing and what we are influencing about doing. What is our influence in the situation? But we should be. We should be on top of everything and every day. We should be aware of everything. And then what are we doing to uh, visualize these things? We don't do visualization. We don't do meditation. We don't do relaxation. We don't do the thought pattern. We don't do that. The information that says that do as you're supposed to do. Do unto others you have to do unto you. Oh, the kindness. Oh no. Well, what about that? But then again, where's our faith in these things? Where's our trust in these things? Because one of the things of being having an attitude, an ego, is to have confidence. But then again, we take that confidence out of context and then make it bad. We're supposed to have good confidence. We're supposed, okay, ego is not a bad thing. But when you misuse things, just like love, when we misuse it, misabuse it, take it out of proportion, and then make it a lie instead of a truth, make it a negative instead of positive, instead of a value, then we're in trouble. And that's what happened. I do really believe that we are messed up on our ego, our value of having legacy. Yeah, we've had the inheritance. Supposedly, we have been given the inheritance. We have been given the inheritance of a kingdom, a kingdom, a true kingdom, or whatever. But what happened? Are we keeping that legacy? No. Are we going to hold on to what's going on, the inheritance? No, it doesn't seem to be, because we look around and we see, all of the chaos and confusion that's going on. And then there's one thing that's about, like say, in the end days and last days, uh, peerless times are coming because people will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, selfish, ungrateful, conceited, ah, pride, all that good stuff, all that stuff, you know. And then it's like pleasure. And that's what I do to believe that also when we have that ego problem, we look down on things, we look down on people, we look down on ourselves even because we don't have the confidence, the self-confidence, uh, we don't have the assurance of who we are and what we are and what we're about. And then we like try to lift ourselves up in a different way, in a negative way, instead of being having a value. So therefore, we must by all means come to terms of who and knowing what it's all about, knowing where we are and what our purpose and our destination and destiny is in this life. Because having a having a bad disposition, a bad ego, and letting our ego run away with us, yeah, you know, being egotistic and all that old stuff, you know, like come on, thinking we all of that with personality come around, and then we say like, well, um, I'm a nice guy. Well, you talk a lot of stuff, but where are you in that being a nice guy thing? Are you neglecting the situation? Are you holding on to the envying other people thing? Huh? Come on. Are you gossiping? Are you with this situation whereas uh, you think you're above in everything and everybody? Are you have that desire for riches? And they said there's variance, yes, have an excessive desire for riches. Oh, well, I got six figures and I got seven figures. No, no, no. I'm heading up to seven and a half. I'm seven, five tenths, and all this stuff. Like, wait a minute, that's over a million a year, right? So how much did you make 5 years ago? Well, 5 years ago, I was still in the five figure zone. Okay, five figure zone, 1,000, 10,000, right? Six figures, 10,000. All right. But anyway, it's like, okay, did you make it? No, well, things are costing so much, and then you have this problem and issues, and we can't seem to be making paycheck to paycheck because the rent is so high. Well, why don't you own your own property? Oh my God, no, we can't own our property because they wouldn't give us a loan. You know, that's when it comes to the place where it's by all means, by all means. That's why our legacy is falling apart. Our family structure is falling apart. Unity of the family is falling apart because we're not together. Whereas sisters and brothers in the past, long time ago, and even not so long ago, they would get together and they would support each other. Cousins would support each other, like partnership arrangement, that kind of stuff. And there are other cultures, whereas they come to America and they would make for sure that that family, that unity, that couple had a home. They would buy them a home. And then as time go on, they would all put the money back into the pot, put the money back into the pot, and they would help each other just like that. See, but we're selfish. We'd rather go out and buy a name brand. We'd rather go and buy something that we can't afford. So we're in debt for 5 years. And that property that cost us maybe $5 now, it's costing $25 to pay it off. And that's what's happening. But we don't look at it that way because our ego has gotten in the way. We got to be better than the Joneses. We got to be overboard, over there, and up and beyond. Our structure has gone out of shape, out of control. And when our structure is out of control, then what do we have left? insecurity. What do we got left? Being unfaithful. What do we have left? Not holding on to the goodness, not holding on to the value. Now we're going from mental retardation, mental anguish, into just plain old mental meltdown. And this is what's happening to so many of us today. So, it's like we come to the place, people. Like now, we have a situation with our mindset, our ego is taking us out of here, left, right, and in between. Because okay, look at the situation, and we're gonna go bring this to today's situation, right? There was an election just recently, and already the person that won the election has already made a decree, even that there's going to be a thing called stop and frisk. Stop and frisk. Okay? Stop and frisk. Okay, whatever. But because of the fact that our young men today is so adjusted to different situations, we have the law on our side. We have this, and you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's against the law to profile. It's against the law to do this. And then we can make complaints, and those complaints throw back. But today, coming up tomorrow even, it's going to be a play time, whereas all of that stuff we're talking about, my rights, are going to be set aside. Yeah, you might still have the rights, but by the time you get through complaining, your file may be in the bottom of the pile. And by the time you get to court, by the time you get to the situation, get any kind of justice, it might be years. So you're sitting there, you're on a record, you're on a value, you're on a roster that says that, you have a potential criminal. There's no such thing nowadays that, how you say, until proven guilty, you are a potential suspect in a situation where maybe he thought about this and thought about that and everything, right? So now you are a potential criminal, and that's how you're going to be listed. But then again, what we're trying to do today is that get our mind back in the right shape, get our place, mind so secure, in a place where it's be strong, a place where our mind is now better than what it used to be, better than what it used to be, because when this thing started happening on us and to us, when the authorities that's supposed to be protecting us says, stop, get over here, and they talk with such a commanding and demanding voice and everything, it scares you, it messes with your mindset, right? But those people who are not used to this, those people who are always walking around thinking that they are better than everybody with the egos and everything, they don't have no discipline, no self-control, no humility, and then they're gonna start to talking junk back to the authorities. I feel far from. I feel my heart aches for those people who are going to be hurt or lose their life behind their own mentality and their behavior. And that's where I think it's coming to. In fact, this was a speech that was already been said, spoken of, and everything. And I do believe that this world is heading down. But where are we in this world? Where are we in this situation? Are we prepared for the things to come? Have we given up that ego that says that I'm all of that in a bag of chips? Are we letting that ego go to the place where it have a value to it and say, yes, I have confidence in what is right, confidence and ability to progress rather than regress and restructure ourselves to the place where it's falling apart. No, don't fall apart. So that's what we're trying to say today. This is why we want to come to you, just to talk about these things for a little bit, to let you know that rough times are coming, and because we lose our legacy and destroyed our legacy, and all of that, the property that we're, I'm talking to certain cultures right now. I'm talking to culture right now that says that they had the place of trouble, trial, and tribulation, and pain, and aches, and brokenness, and death all around us, and come through a place where, okay, I can walk a little bit more, I can sing, I can shout, but the plantation that I once lived on, why didn't I go back and buy the damn plantation? And this is what I'm trying to get the people to understand and see. Instead of going to a roach infested slum area, then go into a place where you have you can't walk down the street because the ego of others is worse than your ego, and then you lose your life, or either you lose your situation because now you can't make it from day to day because the slumlord is raising the rent, whereas you had a plantation, you had an acre, you had 5 acres, you had a half an acre, and now you go to the supermarket and that little check that you made is taking up all that for the food. And then how about the training in your home? The training, the guide. You spending hundreds of dollars for food, whereas if you really use your mind, use your head, use the disposition and everything, that same $100 food can be cut down to maybe about $40. For real, for real. Because now you can change your diet to compensate, to do this so that you can accumulate the money to keep your legacy going for your children and your grandchildren and your great grandchildren. But all of this stuff in the past, because we made the mistakes, because we made the bad decisions, we don't have it. We don't have it like we should have it, or have it like we used to have it. Because now we can't get along, we can't see the eye to eye each other, we can't support each other, and then we can't really come to that place to say that, hey, you are my brother, you are my sister, and now what are we going to do? Oh, when I see that, my Facebook live streaming is failed. Oh, sorry guys. I'm gonna have to send a link to the YouTube to Facebook so you can see this. But I'm just hoping that what I'm saying is understood people, because I got to be a little bit off key first, because when we first came on, it's like nothing is working, the computer's acting up, because this spiritual warfare ain't no joke, people. Period. Even the evil one is saying, why are you telling people about all the kind of stuff like this to get them to get together, to get them on the right accord, to get them in a place that they can make it if they really want to, because they have the determination. But they're not having the determination because of the outside influences. And the influences is really kicking their behind. They have been, I'm not saying they, I'm sorry, but we have been so put into certain situations, whereas we just, how you say, on a place where it's, not say molested, but we've been influenced so much in different ways. We are used and abused in so many different ways. But it's time to get that mind back into the right place. Instead of being lovers of self, okay, self-love is good, beautiful. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your enemy even. Love others. But when you're talking about self-love, don't put your self-love into that place where it become an ungodly love. It become a demonic love, a negative love, a type of love that become a desire for things that we can't manage. And that's where we fall short so many times and so often. Put yourself in a place where we can be together, live together, and help each other. We're supposed to be helpers of each other at all times. You know what I mean? Because we're told that everything that come out of our mouth is supposed to help build up someone else. Build them up, not tear them down. But what we do? Tear them down, backstab, connive, jive, uh, and all of the things like the lust. Yes, all that stuff come out. And then the tribulation of just doing things that how you call it, more and more and more and more. Do we really need that more and more and more? Huh? Think about it. So you can have a lot. You can have, there's nothing wrong with having the best. Because look at okay, even back days when Solomon and David and all of them was there, right? Solomon had money, and then there was another king, the black king from down in Africa, the richest man, Metalusa, whatever his name, right? I'm sorry, can't get to that. Sorry, please forgive me for misusing the name. But he was the richest man. He had gold, and he used to give people gold, give communities gold. Just like today, where money come down from the government into the states, into the municipals, but the money has no value too much today, not like it used to have. Back in even with us today, if we were given, like say, $300 a month or whatever it is for certain different items, wow, that was rich. We would have been rich. But today, the government can give you $1,000 and you still broke. Why is that? Because of our mindset. Because we have gone to that place of our ego tripping. Yes. We don't how to carry ourselves and our value is going off the chain. So that wonderful people, thank you for being with us today. I'm sorry about the difficulties from the beginning, but we have to do this again because we got to talk. We should be talking about these things regularly. Regularly. We are so scattered and so divided that we are not really in a place of unity as we should be. It used to be the nation, and the nation consists of individual people together in a uniform situation, neighborhood, community, city, place, but it was all in a kingdom more or less, and everyone was supported by each other. The king did not go out and give shillings and gold coins to individual people just like that. No, they worked for it. They lived off the land. And then they, in turn, contributed to the central bank or whatever they will call it. And then the king had to raise an army. He could pay his troops. Boom. But today, it's a whole lot of mess. And we know it. And we feel it. A lot of mess. So with that in mind, wonderful people, thank you for being here today. Oh, thank you for your responses and your feedbacks. Because we need these. We need the thing. And we need the world to know what we're doing and what we're trying to do to help have a better life and a better place for each other. Because I'm telling you, we are in a bad fix right here, right now. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And can I read some of these things? Yeah, we must pay attention. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And because we need to get that together, because like I say, we have messed over the legacy, and we don't know sometimes the next person what makes it so bad. Okay, we have an inheritance, and down for fourth, fifth generation, we've been so separated and divided. When time to settle up the inheritance, people started coming from everywhere. Oh yeah, well I'm a part of the family, this and that and other, and yet where you come from? What's up? Who your mama? Who your daddy? ah, so anyway, they forced the sale of the property, and that leaves you with $2 for each person. Boom, and this is what's happening. Keep the property because right now, more and more than ever, we have the foreign cultures are coming in, buying up our property, and then going to raise crops, raise food, and sell it back to us at a higher price because now slavery is returning to us like mad. And then with all of these laws and all these things that are passed or going to be passed, the thing about it, and the way they're set up and structured is that we won't have the men, uh, Labor Party, Labor to help. And then next thing you know, we have lost our culture, lost our inheritance, and there is no legacy. All because we haven't gotten our mind together to be structured, to be together, to have a uniform life. With that in mind, wonderful people, thank you. And this is Michael Jones, Desire to Excel at peopleinlove.com, peopleinluv.com. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And by the way, we're still offering our free PDF on infidelity. Well, not just the infidelity, because we put depression in there. The other things that's in there that's necessary to have a better life in your marriage relationship. 30-some page, 30 plus pages, people. It's a lot of information there. Okay? So think about it, take care, and be wise and not otherwise, but then don't be undernourished, underfed, and underdeveloped as far as the goals. Okay? Take care, be blessed, be blessed. Oh, in the name of the Lord Jesus. Bye now. Yes, yes, yes. Whew. And thank you again for being with us.